What's going on, y'all? It's Jason Reviews here, back at it again with another video. Hope everybody's weekend went well. Hope everybody's start to the week is going well. And, as you guys see today by the title, we are doing, as per usual, top five. Always doing top fives in this channel list. They're just really easy to break down, a slew of different topics. But we are doing the top five URL app battles that could deserve or could use a YouTube drop. Now, one thing, because this is a little bit of a new topic on the channel, I want to explain this, is that for those of you that have been here from the beginning, you know that I'm all about battle rap on this channel. If we're not recapping battles, we're going over history and careers. If you guys hear any noise in the background, I got some dogs running up and down, by the way, so just if you hear anything. But back to what I was saying. If you guys have been here from the beginning, you know that I keep it all battle rap based. We focus on the bars, we focus on the performance, people's career, and usually I don't think I have done a topic-based blog up to this point where we talk about things that the community are mad about, things that aren't necessarily about two battlers in the ring. And recently there has been a lot of talk with the announcement that URL's Kings versus Queens 4 event is going to be behind a paywall. It is going to be a paid pay-per-view on Caffeine. Announced kind of out of nowhere, kind of late, you know what I'm saying? And there's been a lot of different talk, and it obviously brings up the old conversation that all of you know about. Should URL go back to YouTube? Are they not utilizing YouTube? And I figured, one, I'm going to take a couple minutes here, not very long, but just to explain how I personally feel about the whole YouTube debacle. I think that there's extreme, both ways. And then we're going to put ourselves in the shoes of someone that's like, we have a limited amount of battles. What are a few battles that, if I can only choose a few, five in this case, could come off the app and go to YouTube? You know what I'm saying? That could do some good, deserve some exposure. So first half of the video, no honorable mentions for this list, by the way, but first half of the video, and less than half, really, just for a couple minutes, gonna go over how I feel about the whole YouTube debate, and then we will get into the top five app battles that I think could do some good on YouTube if it ever came to that. So, as I said, to start off quickly with my personal thoughts on this whole big YouTube debacle, I do understand why URL peeled back from YouTube in terms of what changed in monetization and the fact that they, as they said, cannot make a living, make a profit off of their business only going through YouTube. And I know that not everyone is saying only go through YouTube. I actually say the majority is that's not what they're saying. But for those of you that do think, why don't they just go back to YouTube? Because I do see comments, I do see things of that nature, and some people that think YouTube is the end-all be-all. Yes, it is a humongous site. It is probably the easiest and most visible for everyone to easily go look up, and it's free. So I get why people are suggesting it. But with the change of the monetization rules, as I just said, I do understand why they peeled back. Now, fully peeling back from YouTube all the way is really, I think, where the big debate is, right? There's some people that think that there could just be a few battles that are good on YouTube, that give your guys exposure, that you shouldn't just leave 1 million+ subscribers sitting there on YouTube with no content. There's no need to build up that audience just to take a portion of it for the app and then kind of leave the rest out. And I think that in terms of especially having multiple different social media, multiple platforms where you can get your content out there, there is some truth to that. And very similar to the topic of this video, we're talking about if there was 5 battles, because a lot of people are saying, hey, you have a war chest of about 4 years worth of content. Some of these battles have already went through the waves. They're already a part of history. Why not upload it years later? What's the difference going to make? And I do understand with URL wanting to keep some of their biggest hitting pieces on the app, because that's how you're going to make people come to the app. These are your big bargaining pieces, these big time battles. But we're at this point that there's so many big time battles in the app. It's so full of content that people are arguing maybe a few YouTube drops per year. We're going to say 5 in this video, but I've seen people say, 3 or 4 have an incentive. Maybe I think champion of the year, maybe performance of the night is able to get a YouTube drop, things of that nature. And I do think that it's kind of hard just to pinpoint, what they should do, because there's so many different options to take into account there. I do think that a couple YouTube drops per year, 3 to 4, especially if you're talking some of the older battles like 2019, 2020, it could do good on the exposure front. There's people that think probably there should be a YouTube drop every month. I'm not a believer in that, because you do need to keep most of it on the app. that is eventually, I think URL's main goal is to have everything running through the app. Hopefully we get streaming live events through the app. I think that's the game changer that if they work towards, it's going to do a big 180 on the community. I think a lot of people would be all in on that move if live events were streamed through. Even if there was a bump in the app subscription, you would just get so much more content, all the app only events being able to watch, on top of the fact that they probably get uploaded quicker because now you've seen it live on the app. They're not going to hold it that long. Everything's behind the paywall, right? So you don't need to wait that long, like Showed It on Caffeine, wait months to drop it. You could drop it within a week or something of that nature, but everyone's got the app anyway, so you don't watch it live, get the battles quick, blase. But like I said, I wanted to keep it short, about 3 minutes there. So I do understand why they peeled back from YouTube, but if they did upload 3-4 battles a year to YouTube out of a 12-month span, I do think it can help people with exposure, especially if there's reward to it. You're gonna have top tier battlers that have been begging for YouTube drops on URL, performing at their highest rate. They get their YouTube drop. You get good footage as a company. I think everyone's happy. But we'll see what roads they go down. Obviously, we all don't know the business behind the scenes. But I do, as most topics are, I'm somewhere in the middle with it. But if we were to get YouTube drops, if they said, Jay Smo, what battles should we drop on YouTube? Here's my list of the 5 battles that I think could do some good being exposed to YouTube. So at number 5, no honorable mentions. I think I might have mentioned before, but if I didn't, no honorable mentions for this particular video. But at number 5, I do think K-Shine versus Chess is a battle that could do good if it was dropped on YouTube. Shine particularly has been, big on, I want YouTube drops, one of the main top tier type of guys asking for it. And with this particular battle, you're going back to 2020 with SM10, the Caffeine, smaller room. But one of the pros is, this is one of the best K-Shine performances of all time. And that becomes very, preferential based, but it is in that convo with battles such as like the Verb battle, which I know would be another common answer. But as a top performance, B, Chess is pretty good in this battle. So it's not by any means, a super lopsided battle where there's really no need for it. It only helps one side. And also, this is a grudge match that extends from the YouTube era. Their 2-on-2 where they had their scuffle and things got heated between them. Really, the rivalry starts from a YouTube drop. And I just think that both of them have extended YouTube catalogs. I mean, especially K-Shine, one of the most viewed battle rappers of all time. But even Chess definitely has built stardom there as well. And I think it's only gotten better since then. This is a good battle to see, kind of a full circle moment for people that have wanted to see that grudge match who don't have the app. I think K-Shine is a big enough name where if you've got a YouTube drop, it generates a lot of views. At that, he's one of those top guys that if he asks for it, you might listen to him a little more than the average top tier or anyone below that. And I just think is a good battle overall. You have 2-star guys that are fan favorites getting a drop. It is one of the best performances, of the A side of the battle at that. And it's an older battle. You're not giving up too much of your new stuff. I probably never hits YouTube, but if they did start doing drops, I do think this is one where it covers a few different bases and ends up just being an all-around good drop. That particularly might make someone happy who hasn't gotten a YouTube drop in some time and has asked for it. Although K-Shine did have the Hollow drop, which I think probably was more on Hollow side of the contractual agreement, if I had to guess, and B, not a very good battle. So definitely, a step up, K-Shine and Chess as the first battle. The second battle at the number 4 spot that I think would do good on YouTube is a bit lopsided, and you could sub this in. It's more about one of the guys that's in it than the battle itself, but I do think that Sue Surf versus John is a battle that I would consider dropping. One performance of the year in 2021. So obviously an important performance at that from Sue Surf, who we all know is one of the bigger megastars in battle rap. Free Sue Surf, by the way. Get that man home. And with this battle in particular, SM11, and once again, like Shine and Chess, you have that grudge match factor. John, calling out Surf, wanting to battle Surf for years, over 10 years at that, then finally getting him on SM. And obviously the battle does not turn out, very competitive. Sue Surf wins cleanly. I remember they dropped the trailers on YouTube and things of that nature, and people want to see these performances, particularly with the Surf. One of the more popular guys. I don't think anyone will be mad if a Sue Surf battle dropped, especially with the hold that he has, I think, on the casual fan base, similar to how like a LeBron or a Kevin Durant, people might not know the NBA, but they know LeBron or Kevin Durant, and Sue Surf kind of has that image where there's like halfway in, casual battle rap fans say, I don't know that much about battle rap, but Sue Surf is fire, whether it be fans of his music, any of those reasons. I think that him to have such a dominant performance to the point that on Cody that it won performance of the year to the fans, I just think it would be good for that particular performance to hit the internet. I think Sue Surf versus Twerk is also a good one. You could even go to Sue Surf versus JC, although he's kind of in cruise control. I think he's at like 70-75% in that battle. Still that grudge match factor coming from the YouTube era with another brand that people want to see. And just with the way Sue Surf had been performing before he got locked up, I just think a YouTube chop would definitely do, his run of consistency justice. From there, the top three battles I think could use a drop. At number 3, I do think Geechee Gotti versus Tay-Rock, all the way back at Lockdown, would do good with a YouTube drop. Geechee, who's built so much stardom, kind of half and half in both eras. Geechee, funny enough, with Geechee and Nitty, it just turns out that they have about 10 to like 13 million view battles, right? So they have a pretty good presence in the YouTube era, and then have been two of the biggest key forces in pushing the app era, where they're on the leaderboards, how much they've battled on the app, a lot of their prime taking place in a time of caffeine in the app. So Geechee's one of those guys that kind of, has a lot of work both ways, kind of like a prime split between two different ways of content distribution. And Geechee versus Rock is one of those battles that got a pay-per-view, it had a live pay-per-view, and made it to the app, but never got a YouTube drop. And I just think that this is Geechee versus Tay-Rock on paper, when it happened, it was a mega match. We still look at it as a mega match of two of the greatest going at it in their primes. And you get a historic angle in the first by Geechee Gotti with the whole almost fight, the best rendition of it by far versus Tay-Rock. You get an incredible Tay-Rock performance, especially in the first and second, little dip off in the third, but still a good round. The battle is just important. The booing of Tay-Rock in Philly, this is by far the best battle that came from that Lockdown card, which many people consider disappointing. And it's the face of an era versus the face of an era. There's just so many ways to sell this battle. It happened in 2019. And I just personally, like I said, I don't see all these battles dropping. There's only really these top 3 are battles that I'm like, they really should be on YouTube. The rest of these, I think it's although I think they could do good on YouTube, it's a little bit 50-50. I understand, like I said, why URL does not utilize YouTube that much. I'm not against URL with this topic. I'm leaning towards their side, but I do think there is a little bit of improvement, where I think a battle like this that is this old, that is that face versus face with an iconic angle, with a great Rock performance, I think it would do good being on YouTube. It's been on the app for years. It's going to stay on the app at that, but I think the fans would be just happy to see that battle. So for all those reasons, that's why I think Geechee versus Tay-Rock is a great battle that could drop to the app. And that brings us into the top 2, and at the runner-up spot, we are having a repeat appearance from Geechee. And another one that's just so impactful, and it's been on the app a good little bit of time now, I think a year and a half, 2 years or something of that nature. But I do think Geechee versus Rum Nitty, the rematch at Gnome 11 for the 150K, it would be great to drop on YouTube. One of the more impactful moments in battle rap in the last few years, EFB splitting the money, really a moment for both of them overall, to the point that I think I saw Micah Parsons during NFL Pro Bowl weekend talking about, we're going to split the bread like Geechee versus Rum Nitty, which is great. It's always great that celebrities are kind of, battle rap fans on the low like that too, and it comes out in little interviews and things of that nature. But this was so impactful. Drake, obviously being there for the visual and giving them the money to split. It's just one of those super duper duper important things that defeats just being a battle you can hold behind the app. And I think you put that out in the public, and there's just, more eyes that come towards it. Like I said, Geechee and Nitty have kind of split their prime between YouTube and the app. This was one of the bigger moments of both of their careers at that, in terms of impact. And I just think the moment of splitting the money, what it means to the history of battle rap, if it did go to YouTube and even reach casual audiences, this is the type of important battle. Plus, it's a great battle, which I talked about last, but it's a fantastic battle. So due to the Drake in the background, that celebrity bonus, due to it being a good battle, due to the impact it has on battle rap history itself, I do think that it would do good going to YouTube, and will possibly bring in a couple more fans. And that leaves us with the number 1 battle that I think could hit YouTube. And I think some of you guys have guessed this. And like I said, only this top 3, I think, are battles that really almost should be on YouTube that I would push for. But when it comes to number 1, this is really the battle I think all of us agree should have been on YouTube, at least the first round. And there's no reason Easy versus Chess doesn't have any imprint out there. It is just too good of a battle. It did 1 million in reactions on the app. It did 1 million on the app. I can only imagine what it would do in public. Now, just because it goes on URL, this is not about money making, because as URL has said, we're not going to act like they didn't say it. They are not going to make enough money off battles dropping on YouTube for it to be like a consistent, stream of revenue that really helps them. But there is a few battles in life that I do think if they looked at it and they're like, you know what, this battle is so good, so classic, just so important, it's already being talked about so much, I think we would do good putting it on YouTube and getting the millions of views that would come back. Easy versus chess is a battle that kind of is going to end up being the battle that defines an era that we're not even all the way through yet, especially with the run that Easy has went on going into that battle. And now, we know where Easy is before, afterwards, what's happened with Hitman and all those things, what it does for the new gen. When you look at the UM1 class, when you look at guys like Geechee and Nitty, who are considered younger talents in the game, breaking out on URL like 2016, 2017, where they're at now, it's just a whole definition of a new era that can carry SMs, that can carry gnomes, and not be from the YouTube era of battlers. This is an example of two guys that are like post 2015, post 2016, figureheads, in the app era, having one of the best battles. And in my opinion, if you see my videos, the best Summer Madness battle of all time from a quality standpoint. It would help build both of them as megastars, although they're both stars in their own right. We obviously see the path that Easy's on. Chess already has a bit of stardom. And the battle is just so damn good, even if it's just the first round. I've had people that don't watch battle rap, my half fans or people that just started watching a little bit be like, yo, where's this Easy versus chess battle at? It's that good of a battle where people have never heard of battle rap or only lightly heard of it, haven't watched in years, see this and they're like, yo, that looks good. I haven't watched in a minute, but I really want to watch that. If there was only one battle they could drop on YouTube, I just think it should have been Easy versus chess. Obviously, Easy wanted Easy versus chess to drop, and we see what's going on with Easy and URL right now. And as I've said, for the most part, I do understand why they peeled back from YouTube. I do understand for financial reasons why they did. I think some people overrate, just what YouTube can do, how small and kind of niche our community is compared to a lot of other communities on YouTube. 1 million on YouTube is not just breaking the bank and turning everything upside down, but this battle in particular would have done multiple million views. It is a humongous historical piece. It's going to be the best battle in both of their catalogs for years to come, realistically, if not by the end of their career. I highly doubt either of them can produce a battle just as good as this. The battle is that good. For all those reasons, that is why I have Easy as chess as a battle that I think should have made it to YouTube. And with that being said, guys, that is my full list of the 5 battles that I think URL could put from the app to YouTube and it would do some good. And just to, really put it in perspective too, even if we drop the 5 battles that I'm talking about, there is still a long list, which I'll put up somewhere on the screen here, of battles that would still be only app-based. Daylight versus Rock, humongous battle. Most people would say that deserves to be on YouTube. Beat Out versus Saga, extremely classic piece of dialogue. Twerk versus Tay-Rock. Tons of Rum Nitty battles, tons of Geechee Gotti battles. Danny Myers has a crazy catalog on there. Every battle Easy has besides chess on URL, which I believe would be 11 battles, all would still be on the app. Calico versus Verb, Shug versus Verb, so on and so forth, man. So many battles, the UM tournaments, the Born Legacy, super fights. This still limits so many battles that would still be content only. And like I said, if URL is able to one day stream through the URL app, this changes everything. It would be very WWE Network style for those of you that watch wrestling and know how that went down when they went from pay-per-views to the subscription. And like I said, would lead to quicker drops, probably would go up to like $15, $20 a month. But if you could see every event, no more app-only events, you could stream 10, 12, 15 events live throughout the year just through your subscription. It's a complete game changer. I think we would all agree on that. But even if you uploaded a few to YouTube, there's still the list of battles here along with hundreds of other battles, tons of other heavyweight matchups, mid-tier matchups, up-and-comers. You still would have tons of content, but you would just take some of the best, not all of the best, but some of the best and be like, hey, this is amazing, right? We have more of that over here. So it's going to be a debate with a bunch of sides, and all of us are kind of just barbershop talking because a lot of us don't understand the battle rap business like that. We're not behind looking at the numbers, looking at the impressions, the interactions, what revenue is brought in by taking what ways of a platform and distribution. But I do understand it's battle rap, so just like any other sport, people are going to have tons and tons of opinions, and that's just part of the game. And I just thought this one was important enough, and I could include the list in there, where I just thought that maybe you guys want to hear my opinion on the situation. But overall, whether they go to YouTube or not, I'm still looking forward to a great 2023 of Battle Rap. It looks like all leagues, URL, RB, Chrome are all strapping up to have a big year. And at the end of the day, while there's going to be that inherent competition, if all three are great, we as fans are doing great. But it's been J Smo Reviews again, y'all. Let me know if you had one battle. You could do a couple if you want, do 3, do 4, do whatever. But if you had one battle that can make it to YouTube, a one battle pick, your favorite app battle, what battle would you want to see URL drop on YouTube? Let me know down in the comments below, as well as like and subscribe, show a little bit of love, y'all. But it's been J Smo Reviews again, y'all. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace.